Hey guys, it's Linda. Today I'm going to make some homemade Hawaiian rolls. Now I have measured out 2 1/4 teaspoons of yeast, and then we're going to be using pineapple juice. We want to get that to about between 105 and 115 degrees. As you can see here, we've got that. So I'm going to go ahead and put that in. You don't want it any hotter than that. You really don't want it below 105 because you want it to be able to activate the yeast. And we're also going to be adding in a 1/3 cup of sugar. Now we're going to walk away, let that just kind of set. The yeast is going to start to foam, and then we'll be back to finish up. Hey guys, we're back. As you can see, the yeast has started to foam, so we're going to go ahead and add a large egg, 3 tablespoons of oil, and a 1/4 cup of softened butter. And I just had it all in one container there. And we're going to mix this together. Excuse me. Then we're going to add in 2.5 to 3 cups of flour. We want to keep it light, as well as just a pinch of salt. Go ahead and grab the salt. Just add a little. Alright. Now I've also seen a sweetbread recipe, instead of using the pineapple juice to make it more like the Hawaiian bread, of using milk. So we may even try that one day. But I've actually been making these sliders using Hawaiian bread that's been really good. And so I decided to see if I could find a homemade recipe for the bread. And we're going to go ahead, after we make the bread, we'll also be making some sliders. So I'm going to start with about 2.5 cups of flour here. I don't want to put too much all at once. If we need more, we still have that 1/2 cup to play with. So let's get this going. This dough will be sticky. It's not going to be like some doughs that will be really smooth. This is going to be a little bit tackier. We are going to watch for it to pull away from the sides a little. It smells really good with that pineapple juice in it. Okay, I'm going to add a little more flour. I hope I didn't add too much there, but I think we're still okay. Still looking sticky, and that's what we want. Okay, that's much better. Even though there's still some on the sides, it's not a lot. It is trying to pick some up and pull it back into the ball. That's what I wanted to see happen. Okay. So we can go ahead and get the dough hook out. And it should be sticky. Yep. Very good. Ooh. Now I'm going to grease a bowl to get this into so it can rise 60 to 90 minutes. So I'll be right back. Okay, so I sprayed this with a nonstick spray. I got the dough in there. I'm going to cover this with either plastic wrap, or you could also just use a lint-free towel. But you want to cover it and get it into the warmest location in the house. My house tends to be very cool. That's why I think it's going to take the full 90 minutes to rise. If you keep a pretty warm house, this is probably only going to take 60 minutes for you, 45 to 60. But I'm going to go ahead and cover this and maybe set it inside my microwave or oven, just somewhere where it's not going to be open to a draft. And then once it rises, we'll come back, take a look at it, and start making the rolls. And then it's going to have to go through a second rise. So we'll be back soon. Alright guys, so I have gotten it out. I've kind of been mashing it down from the rise. Now what we're going to do is start pinching off small little balls, or you can lay it down and cut it, doesn't matter, because you're still going to ball it up into the size roll that you want it. So, put it down on a flat surface and roll with one hand, doesn't matter, as long as you get the little balls taken care of. Right? I'm going to try to get a dozen out of this. I'm not really sure if it'll make that or not. I halved a recipe that I had found online, and I kind of combined 3 different recipes that I saw, so we'll see. One called for brown sugar. I didn't have that. The other 2 called for white, so I went ahead and used the white sugar that I had. For example, I did not use milk. I used the pineapple juice instead. And what was the other thing? Oh yes, had another recipe that called for vanilla. I did not put the vanilla in, and only 2 recipes called for the oil. So it's kind of interesting that they were so different in ways. It would be like an ingredient here and there. So I just went with what I knew I had at home, and I don't know, in a Hawaiian roll, the vanilla just did not appeal to me. Maybe it's good, maybe I'll regret not putting it in, I don't know. But I'm going to go ahead and go with this. And I think I can get a couple more. So just under a dozen. Probably if I had made them just a little bit smaller, I could have got my dozen. This one's kind of large. That's okay. It'll be the one that I test with. It'll be the one I sample when they're done. Alright, so again, I'm going to cover these. I'm going to separate them just a little because we know that they're going to rise. And these need to rise 60 minutes to 90 minutes. I'm sure mine will take the full 90. Again, my house is very cold. And as soon as they rise, we'll be going into the oven for 20 minutes. They're going to bake on 350 degrees. And of course, everybody's oven is different, so you'll just want to kind of watch. Hey guys, I just got these out of the oven, and I'm going to go ahead and brush them. The tops, like most breads, are kind of hard when you first pull it out. We can brush them with some butter. Now, you can, of course, leave them in. They're done now, but you could leave it longer if you like the tops a lot browner. I'm going to let this just sit for a minute before I try one, but I'm sure they're going to be delicious. Alright guys, I pulled one out of the corner there. I just wanted you to, I tore into it, and I wanted you to see how moist it is. And I know on video you can't taste it or anything. It is good. I can't say it tastes identical to a Hawaiian roll, but it is a sweet bread. It is good. So anyway, that's this week's video. So I'll see you next week. Bye-bye.